Hey guys, I'm Karina.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to the Light Podcast. The law according to Eric. So today, Eric chose a topic, and it was on...
You can blame me.
No, it's a good episode. I'm just saying you chose the topic today.
Okay.
So it's about basically like breakups gone bad. Like what could happen after a breakup.
Yeah, because honestly, we've been researching topics and we've been a bit more serious lately, even though we still kind of do the Reddit stuff. I mean, we're talking about like legal issues and defamation, and we wanted to bring it back to something kind of fun and lighthearted, and God knows there have probably been some epic breakup stories out there.
Right.
So as usual, right? Everybody knows the rules. I don't pre-screen or hear any of these ahead of time. These are all just going to come at me, as Karina sees fit. Mm-hmm. So, all right, Hurricane, take it away.
All right, first.
Oh, wait, before you do, sorry, since we're the topic, it's just kind of funny. So, I think at this point, everybody knows my significant other. My girlfriend's name is Jennifer. Mm-hmm. So we went out, like a Cinco de Mayo was kind of like it's like the anniversary, like the first date we kind of went on, been separated for about 8 or 9 months at this point. Anyway, so, we just passed Cinco de Mayo, we went out and we're kind of having very, like fun banter, at dinner or whatever. So she says, this is not something she knows. She says, Eric, I want you to say something to me that's going to make my heart race.
Right.
Like, oh, that's so sweet.
Right.
I said, okay, sweetheart.
What did you say? Oh, God.
I forgot my wallet.
Oh, my God.
I win.
I have one.
No, I still win.
I have mine. Okay.
It doesn't matter. By the way, fam, whatever her dad joke is about to be.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
Because she didn't have one?
I did.
It wasn't as good. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
All right.
Well.
Not like I won anyway.
Okay. All right. Next one. We're going to start with the story.
I'm just sorry. Anybody that knows Jay Lowenstein, that's my other nickname for her, because like J-Lo but Jewish, Jay Lowenstein. Anybody that knows Jay Lowenstein knows that she would rather lose a finger than have to spend money unnecessarily. Yeah. So
I know.
Honestly, it would be so funny. Like if I took her to like a really bougie restaurant, like, here, we're going to celebrate as a girl. Whatever. Like,
oh, shit.
But she's also very smart, and she'd be like, yo, you got Apple Pay, right? You got like the wallet on your phone.
You can't use Apple Pay in restaurants like that.
You can. You can't. You have like the virtual cards or whatever on there.
But they can't really take your phone and then go and tap.
Oh, I guess that's true. So I may have to try that one. Although now she's going to hear the episode, so I can't. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So this one, we'll start with Am I the Asshole?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling everyone about my ex's new girlfriend? She says that English isn't her first language, so she apologizes if there's any mistakes in how she worded it, right?
Okay, so she... Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand. All right, I got it. Go ahead.
So I, 29 female, just recently broke up with my boyfriend, 27 male, of 5 years. He swears he didn't cheat on me, but I've been speculating it for a year now. It became even more obvious when he moved together with another girl just a week after our breakup.
Okay, yeah, there was no shot he wasn't dipping on the... Yeah, okay, but go ahead.
Obviously, I was extremely hurt, but I was ready to move past this. When the real problem occurred, I found out who she is when he picked up his things from my house and brought her. She's 19 years old. There's an 8-year difference between them, and that's basically still a child. In my whole life, I've never been so disgusted and disappointed in someone. I have known him for 5 years and never thought he could do something so nasty. Because we've been together for that long, almost all of our friends are mutual, and we're both still with them. We're both still friends with all of them. My ex has asked me not to tell anyone about his new girlfriend until he's ready to announce it himself. I told him I wouldn't say anything, but then I started really thinking. I felt like it would just be unfair to hold this from our friends. They are all decent people, and I know that they would seriously overthink being friends with him if they knew what I knew. So I met up with him, and I told them everything. How he's been cheating, and most important, that he's hitting it off with a child right now, even living with that little girl who probably doesn't even know better. Of course, my friends talked to him about it, and he found out. He came by my place today and blew up on me, started yelling. He told me that his life was none of my business anymore and that I had no right to tell on him, that I invaded his privacy and made him look like an asshole in front of everyone without the chance to even tell things from his perspective. That was the polite part. He also told me some really ugly things about how this showed him that leaving me was the best decision so far, and that if I ever intervene with his relationship again, he will make my life hell. He thinks I did this out of jealousy and as revenge.
For sure. By the way, for fucking sure. I don't... Go ahead and finish, but nothing else in this post is going to change my mind. But okay.
She said, in my opinion, what he did and is still doing is something disgusting and morally wrong. I feel like my friends have the right to know that. They have the right to know who they are really dealing with so that they can decide whether they want him in their lives or not. Of course, I could have waited a little bit not to hurt his feelings, but to put it quite frankly, I just don't care. Since the breakup, he hasn't cared about my feelings even a bit, running around constantly saying how he finally found the love of his life and the real woman for him and so on. So why would I care about how he feels? I only considered the feelings of my friends, and in my mind, I did the right thing. But am I the asshole here?
1,000%.
And it was revenge. There's no way this wasn't
for
revenge.
For sure.
There was no way this wasn't revenge.
Bitter, cunty slag. I'm sorry. Are two consenting adults in a different relationship? Because last I checked,
right,
in most states, you could be 18 or over. In some states, fucking 16 is the age of consent. Okay, and so if he's 29 and she's 19 or whatever, 8 years. Yeah. Okay, for fuck's sake, I know. Okay, very simple. Once again, jealousy rears its ugly head. There's absolutely no basis, and you know what? He was not out of pocket to say, hey, would you mind just letting me break this to our friends my way?
Right. And that's what he told her. He's like, just don't say it. Like, I'm not ready to tell them.
1,000%. And you're right. He's right. It's none of her fucking business. Now, was he stupid to bring the new girl?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that probably was also
100%. That was on jealous.
Yes.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
Yes.
Take a look at my fresh, new, young toy. Right. Yes. He was being a dick also, but her response was not proportionate.
Yeah.
1,000%. Oh my God. Right. Literally, she just painted her ex to be a pedophile.
Literally.
And the way she says it, our friend, right. She's a child. No, bitch. She's not a child. She's old enough to vote.
Exactly.
She's old enough to hold office. She's old enough to join the military. She's old enough to give consent.
Yeah.
And she's sure as hell old enough to whip your jealous ass, right? If you fuck things up for her.
She's old enough to have her own place because he's living with her.
That's right. Hey. Okay. It's a good one to start, but oh my God, I could just see, I could see her literally justifying her behavior to herself.
She is. She's like, yeah.
No, while she's on the fucking keyboard, and you know what else, Reddit family? Then he brought her over, and then, she's only 19.
What a child.
I know. So whopping 8 years younger.
I didn't do this out of revenge. I was just worried.
I know. And by the way, sister, when he's fucking 70 and she's 62, nobody's going to give a shit.
No one. Exactly.
Just like nobody should give a shit now.
Exactly. If she was a minor, then
be a different story.
Still not your business, though, but you could have an issue.
Well, and so that brings me, I was going to mention something like that too. Put aside the idea that if she were a minor and if she were the minor. If there was a real concern, like for example, let's say he was abusive. Right. And she wanted to protect, then you don't run to all your friends.
Exactly.
You speak to her privately.
Exactly.
Hey, sweetheart, I've been in your spot. I know things about, Billy. Right.
Okay?
All right. I know things about Billy you may not know. And I think you deserve to know this, whatever. And even that would be kind of cunty, but nowhere near blowing this guy up to his friends. You can
justify that. Talking to her
in your mind, you can. Right. Yeah. So you can, yes. But blowing him up to all their mutual friends and painting him like he's some kind of chomo. No, bitch. No. That was beyond. Yeah. That's so grimy. Oh my God. Wow. We came out swinging on this one. I
have a last one for you. I have it. So just be prepared.
Okay. And something tells me Hurricane took more pleasure out of looking up this topic than the series. Can I remember, literally just Arius, defamation is boring. There's nothing. Okay, what do we want? The people are asking for it. This one, fucking home run swings right out of the gate.
And just to let you guys know, I found out we were doing this a couple of hours ago.
I'll say she went full fucking Inspector Gadget on all of this.
So, all right. So next one. This one is, they're still married, but the husband's like a dick. So just hear his retaliation and what he did. So.
Okay. So you're telling me this was undeserved?
Yeah.
Husband just went crazy?
Yeah. No, just listen.
All right.
Is there a legal way to get my husband to not be able to turn off the utilities in our home? I have small children and does this in retaliation regularly. That's just the title.
Oh.
My husband keeps threatening to leave me, and since he is the majority breadwinner of the home, he uses his financial power to win arguments. He knows I am unable to support the household without him. Yesterday, I reminded him that I was planning on taking my out-of-state mother and son out to eat pho, the beef noodle soup, in celebration of my son's graduation. This is planned for June and has been planned since January. He became upset about how much money this would cost. He makes 6 figures and I work 2 part-time jobs, so soup in June I thought was going to be a doable thing. I reminded him because I did not want him to forget that this would be an expense coming up. He threatened to leave after screaming for a while about how much money I cost him. I did not beg him to stay. Instead, this time I said, okay, leave then. This further enraged him and he told me that I would be nothing without his support. I have refused to really talk to him since. I just don't want to make him angrier. He then went to whatever utility companies he could and had things shut off immediately. He demanded they were shut off that same day while I was at work. In the past, he has done the same thing when he gets angry. He shuts off the electric, gas, water, and the internet. He has kept the phones on, but broke mine, so I'm unable to use it. The thing is that I have kids from 9 to 16 living with us. It's hugely difficult to go without power or water for days in between getting them cut back on. He has access to all of the money. Is there any way that I can keep him from turning everything off again? He is on the lease, and the accounts are in both of our names, and I have been told that he can't be taken off unless a divorce decree is submitted.
Is this what would Eric do?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what state they're in.
Right.
So I don't know what the law is about. I mean, I don't know that you would need a divorce decree, but
right.
There, I think in my mind, there are two things she can do. The first and again, I don't know what state she's in,
right.
But cutting off utilities that are necessities, water, heat, things like that, right? Electric for your refrigerator.
Wi-Fi isn't really necessary.
No, but the things that are super important, like water, power, gas, right? I would imagine she could potentially get a court order or restraining order prohibiting him from doing that because it could potentially endanger the children. And that would be the reasoning behind it, why there's this urgency. You know, if I were the lawyer, I would be, Your Honor, he's done this in the past multiple times. These children are between 9 and 16. They need heat. They need water. They need to bathe. They need to drink. They need food. They need the refrigerator to work. This puts them in physical danger. They can get ill, right? So on. I mean, it's not the strongest argument in the world, but a court order prohibiting him from doing that. So then if he did it again, he'd go to jail for contempt.
But would that matter even if she's still married to him and they live in the
No, you can get a restraining order against a spouse. I mean, imagine if you were in physical danger and you had to wait till you had to get a divorce before you could get protection.
That's the thing, but I don't think she plans on leaving him.
I understand, but I'm saying this might be a way.
Okay,
right, to where he just can't do that.
Right. Okay.
I understand she can't leave him financially.
Right.
I look, again, I don't know where they are. I don't know what the familial situation is. I don't know if she has relatives she can lean on, a sister, an aunt, uncle, father, mother, whatever, grandparents for the kids. I would definitely suggest she figure out a way to get the fuck out of there with the kids. Is awful and upsetting and humiliating as it might be to have to go to a shelter even. I would do that sooner.
Because they're not going to cut off her water. They're not going to cut off
Not just that, but
she was going to dinner. That's the craziest
Well,
part.
it's beyond that. This is clearly an abusive, controlling person.
Right.
There doesn't have to be physical violence in order for there to be abuse.
Right.
And the fact that he consistently holds the finances over her head, that he controls everything, is an absolute form of, it's almost like indentured servitude. You can have water, power, heat, electricity, and food as long as you don't step out of line or whatever. But then the minute you question shit, right? Or if I see that water bill ticked up a few bucks because, you took a little bit long of a shower, I'm cutting you off. No, bullshit. These are all patterns of abuse by clearly what seems to be a serial abuser. I would try to seek out some free legal advice. I know that there are community organizations in Los Angeles. You have the Domestic Violence Project.
Right.
You have Betzedek. You have a few different organizations that can help you. Find one, talk to someone, and see about that idea of a restraining order. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know what else Eric would do except find a relative or a place to stay. Fuck this guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Hurricane, what do you think? But I don't know what else I can say. That's really disturbing.
I think it's the same thing. I threw in a serious one just because I wanted to know what really she could do from here. That was just this is Eric's advice. If anyone's in that position, that's what you could do. I think you're right. That's the only really options. I feel like that's the correct thing to do. She has kids and it might be hard to find a place right now with her kids, but that would be the safest option. I feel like so.
For sure.
All right. So let's now move on to, am I the asshole for playing a revenge prank on my brother and his girlfriend on Valentine's Day?
Sorry, you sound like something Josh and I would do to each other.
You would, actually.
Go ahead.
For some background, I live with my brother while he's getting on his feet, and I'm getting my master's degree. He's 27. I'm 22. He's been dating this girl, we'll call her Liz, for about 6 years, and she's about to come and she is about to come unglued, waiting for him to propose, and he just claims that he's not just ready. About 4 months ago, my brother found my Tinder account, and he and his friends basically catfished the shit out of me using pics they stole from Instagram. I was an idiot and I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I wanted to get revenge on him somehow, but I wasn't sure how. The week before Valentine's Day, I was at Barnes & Noble and I saw the book, How to Buy Diamonds, on one of the end caps. I saw my chance, so I bought the book. On Valentine's morning, I stole my brother's phone, turned it off, and watched him stomp around the house, which in reality was pretty good as a prank. He went to work without his phone, and since I was home all day, I hid the book in the stack of crap my brother keeps on the coffee table. And at 4, I texted Liz and basically said that my brother lost his phone, but he wanted me to tell you to come over now so he's able to take you out to dinner. She texted me back and showed up maybe an hour later. I made sure the binding of the book was plainly visible and let her in. I said I had to study in my room, so I closed the door. I could hear her flipping through a magazine and then about died laughing when she called her sister or friend and said something like, he has a How to Buy a Diamond book. Oh my God, do you think it's going to be tonight? Oh my God, he's going to propose tonight. It has to be.
This is fabulous, but cruel, but fucking funny. Sorry.
She said, I'll call you back as soon as it happens. I literally could not contain myself. I was laughing so hard.
That's really mean, actually.
When my brother got home, they went on their date, and maybe 2 hours later, they came back through the door screaming bloody murder at each other. Obviously, he hadn't proposed, and she was screaming at him on why did he have a How to Buy Diamonds book if he wasn't going to propose.
Oh, man.
He was trying to talk his way around it all because she was furious with him. Finally, she dug the book out of the stack of stuff and threw it at the wall. My brother obviously knew it was me at that point, but Liz didn't care and said she needed a break to figure out if the relationship is really for her after 6 years. As far as I know, she hasn't even spoken to him, and it's been over 2 weeks. On my brother's part, he understands that I was just getting back at him, and he admits it was a pretty good joke. But truly, he is really heartbroken over Liz and possibly breaking up with him over it. I feel really bad, but at the same time, I didn't make her freak out. Am I the asshole for doing this?
Well, what do you think? I'll tell you what I think in a minute, but we should go back and forth, like you won, me won,
okay.
You won. But go ahead.
This is a hard one because it's funny. I get it. It's like a prank. And if that's your relationship with your brother, I guess it could be, but it's like, it's also fucked up because she broke up with him and she won't talk to him. Like, he just lost his girlfriend of 6 years.
So I have a slightly different perspective.
Okay.
What a psycho bitch. Okay, I'm serious. What it sounds like, okay, those two things. First of all, if you are in a 6-year relationship and you've yet to propose or get engaged.
That too.
Yeah, that kind of feels like maybe there's some justification, like, am I wasting my time with this person?
Right.
Are the best years of my life, am I losing them? I understand some of that, okay? But to go from, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this guy and I can't wait, to, I never want to see you again, don't talk to me, in the course of a few hours. Oh, well, it's the joke.
Yeah, that too.
But essentially, she had a certain expectation and she set him so high that when it didn't happen, her reaction was similar to where if he had broken up with her. And that's how she's taking it. Like, he must not really want me. I get she thought this was all going to happen and she probably worked it all up in her mind. Right. But at the same time, grow the fuck up. I mean, you're an adult, right?
Exactly.
Especially if she's been with this guy for 6 years, there's no way she doesn't know how he and his brother are.
Exactly.
Because my brother and I are so fucking bad when we're together.
Do you guys think this is a prank that one of you guys would have pulled?
I don't know if we would have done this type of thing because we don't mess with each other's like relationships. But A, we would both find it funny. B, it'd be a little different because my brother's married.
Right.
So I doubt my sister-in-law Erin is going to like file for divorce over a prank, especially if I'm the one that did it.
Right.
But I'll flip this around briefly to what would Eric do? What Eric would do if I were the brother that made the joke and caused that breakup is I would go to the ex-girlfriend myself.
Yeah.
And I would say, look, I fucked that up. This was me.
Yeah.
He loves you.
It was never
always loved you.
Far.
Right.
Yeah.
I would at least try to do something to make it right.
Because in his defense, he probably never thought it was going to get this bad.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I do think it's an overreaction. But that's my point.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go try to fix it.
Yeah.
And it might be that that's honestly what she's waiting for.
Yeah.
At this point, she may really just need to see that she fucking matters. Right.
And that it wasn't like.
Right. Now, we don't know if he's been texting her, calling her every day. Lucy, please come home. Oh, Billy, I'm sorry. No, we don't know if that's going on. But if it's not, and they're both just sort of like being stubborn, then fucking prankster brother needs to go try to fix it.
Especially because he said, like, the brother thinks it was funny. He thinks it was a good joke. So, okay. It was like, all right, he's not mad at you. but you probably should go try to fix that relationship you broke. So I agree with you. I would probably go over there and try to talk to her and, see what's going on. All right, next one. This would be what would Eric do?
Okay.
Title is, in California, ex-girlfriend vandalized my car. Is threatening retaliation, I think.
Hold on. The ex-girlfriend vandalized his car and she's going to retaliate?
Yeah, he thinks, yeah. But the vandalize was her. But, like, the retaliation more, I guess.
Oh, like, so she's going to do more than just vandalize the car? Okay, because the way he wrote that.
I know.
It's like, I vandalized her car and now I'm afraid she's going to get me back.
No.
But she vandalized his car and then.
Just keep going.
Okay, there's more.
Yeah.
And he's just afraid more shit's going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a good chance already without me even knowing. But all right, go ahead.
He said, so about a year ago, my ex-girlfriend got drunk and kicked a bunch of dents into my car.
Like, what? Way to pick him, pal. Fucking pick a winner.
I called the cops.
Oh, God. And he called the cops.
They came out and took a report, and she admitted to doing it. Almost a year later, after asking her to pay for it many times, I took her to small claims court. I, being a nice guy, dismissed the case without prejudice so that she could take her time getting the money together.
Wow, what a nice guy. took his girlfriend to court.
Ex-girlfriend.
Whatever. Yeah. I know. Okay.
It's been a few months now and she still hasn't paid up.
Uh-oh.
Now, whenever I try to talk to her about it, she says that I was abusive towards her and she will file a domestic violence case if I pursue collecting the damage for my car. I would just go ahead with everything, but I'm honestly afraid of the one-sided nature of these types of cases. Males are almost guilty until proven innocent from what I've seen. I know the statute of limitations for personal injury is 2 years, but in my research, I haven't found anything about retaliation. How does that piece fit into the puzzle? Thanks.
You're welcome. I understand. You're welcome. So, what would Eric do? Okay. Yes. First of all, let me just tell you, you're an idiot. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what would Eric do? It seems like this ex-girlfriend might be a little unhinged. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is I would text these back and forth with her so that I would have evidence of her threat.
Yes.
And then I would still take her skank ass to small claims court.
Exactly.
And then if she ever threatened me, I'd be like, well, look, I have you on text back and forth threatening me with this bullshit. And he's got to be smart. Mm-hmm. He's got to be like, yo, Cindy, I never hit you. Why would you say that? Mm-hmm. And then if she's dumb enough or angry enough, like she sounds like she is, you'd be like, because Billy, you're trying to sue me. Fuck you. I'll tell everybody. Okay. And then you've got that bitch. Okay. Mm-hmm. Or even better, do it like on Facebook Messenger or email or some social media where you can even like put her back on blast again.
Exactly.
Like, this is who I've been dealing with. Mm-hmm. That's what Eric would do. Fuck you. And I'm saying this not just because Eric is a guy. Any person that has to be afraid of having lies spread about them over something this serious deserves to be protected.
Exactly.
That's bullshit.
Because the fear he feels, like he said, he's like, I'm really just not going after her anymore because of that. So I'm like, that's not fair to him. He got his car fucked up and she never paid. And now she's using this as an excuse. And I'm pretty sure one of her friends fed her that. If you just tell him that, he'll be scared.
It's something. Mm-hmm. Look, if she thought of it herself, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Because that just tells you where she's at with this.
And who you dated for
however
long it was.
God knows what else she might be capable of. But that's what I would do. And I would not be afraid of that kind of retaliation.
Yeah, me either. No.
Seems like enough time has gone by too. So like all of a sudden it's like, Your Honor, it's not a coincidence that right after I sued her again in small claims because she never paid me back, even though she promised.
Now
all of a sudden, right. Never before, right? You'd think, right? Supposedly I was this terrible, abusive person, but somehow this is the time.
Exactly.
Right?
Right now.
Now that's all circumstantial, but if he's got, again, written text messages confirming that he's being set up, not only will he win the small claims court case, he could go after her for, I don't know, maybe not like emotional distress or whatever, but he can. By the way, did I tell you, I have a client that basically tried to talk me into adding an emotional distress claim over a fucking car that was damaged at a body shop.
Yep. I know.
So sad. But anyway, yeah, I know. That's fucking.
He was hurt.
I know. Like when children are abused and molested on tape and then their parents are sent the video. I mean, that's emotional distress. Or, your bougie exotic car has a dent in it from the body shop trying to fix it. And you just want to, oh my God, right? I mean,
I'm in a bad place.
I know. I get nightmares. I need therapy for this. Give me a fucking psychiatrist because I can't sleep at night anymore.
Exactly.
I know. Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I know.
They come in all shapes and sizes, these clients of ours.
They really do. All right. You might laugh at this one.
I might? Okay.
Am I the ass for refusing to pay for my ex-girlfriend's new bed?
Well, did he break it?
No.
Because honestly, look, if he was hitting it that good,
No.
to where he busted that bed frame, maybe.
No.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
Story.
All right.
My ex and I were together for 9 years, and we broke up about a year ago. But we still have a really good relationship and some investments together where we were 50-50. A few years ago, I moved into her house. A few years after I moved into her house, our bed broke, and she blamed me. She had this bed before we met and told me that it was me who really caused the damage. In 2020, I purchased a new Ottoman bed for us with storage underneath, and we used it for about 2 years until we broke up. She continued to use it after we broke up and is using it now. The bed was not working correctly. There was something wrong with the hinges, or it wasn't closing properly, so she contacted me last week to ask me if I received a refund from the bed company because she told them that the bed was faulty, and they agreed. They sent the refund to the card that was used for the purchase, which was mine. She also told me that I needed to transfer the money to her so that she can buy a new bed for herself since I had broke the last one. I told her that she could buy her own bed now since we are not together, and she is the one that needs it, and she is the one that's going to use it, so I shouldn't have to contribute to it. She told me that the bed was a replacement for the one I broke originally. I told her that she would have to buy her own bed. Am I the asshole?
No.
No, he's not. I feel like he's not.
No, I mean, but it's he's not an asshole, but he's wrong.
I don't think so.
He's wrong because he gave it to her. He left it there. Right? So he gifted it. That's her bed now.
Well, she could keep the faulty bed.
No, it doesn't work.
The issue.
That's my point. It doesn't work. It's fucked up. So the fact that he somehow got a refund, I don't think it's out of line to assume that she is going to replace the bed that he, whatever, this faulty bed. And the fact that he got his money back so she can buy a new one for herself. I think that that's actually okay. I really do.
I wouldn't buy it for her.
Well, I don't know. It also depends how bad the breakup was.
Yeah, that too.
But if they're still kind of cordial, and it's like, look, the bed, like clearly he didn't miss the money. He didn't ask her for the bed back.
Because it was such little money.
But
I'm just,
okay. This is probably going to change everything.
It was $350.
Oh, for crying out loud. You were the fucking money. She can find another bed, that's not like on fucking eBay or the used bed store or whatever for $300. Come on, pal.
He explained in the update because he said, I offered to pay her for the new bed that chooses up to the amount of the refund of $350, but she said that she would rather have the money. I have a feeling that she would just keep the bed and want
gives a shit. Well. Just give it to her. What's the fucking difference?
He said, I told her that I will keep the money until she's ready to purchase a new bed up to the refund.
What an asshole. See, what's the fucking difference? Honestly, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
That to me that's petty.
That's petty.
What's the fucking difference?
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, right? I mean, honestly, that's almost like having a sister-in-law that comes to your house, breaks your shit, leaves it there, and then wants you to replace it for her when she moves out. Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. Second one. First one today. But I mean, otherwise, for crying out loud, I don't want to sound like an asshole because I know for some people, $350 is a real amount of money.
Right.
Listen, Jay Lowenstein would rather lose a finger, than lose $350. But for crying out loud, I mean, my son has jeans that are more expensive.
No, he does.
I know. I'm saying, I know. That's why it's like, for fuck's sake.
I have shoes more expensive than $350.
That's why I'm saying, for fuck's sake, pal. Who cares what she fucking does with it? Maybe she's gonna fix it.
Yeah, maybe she is.
What's the difference? This is so cringy.
I know.
I seriously, I was gonna laugh at this more, but how grimy. That amount really did matter.
Yeah.
See, if this were thousands of dollars,
then maybe if it was like one of those, like that cloud pillow, whatever. Those are like over a
whatever. Yeah, sure. Whatever. But I mean, for crying out loud. And by the way, what does he expect? Did he think a $300 bed was gonna last like fucking ages?
Especially one that has storage underneath it.
I know. Come on now.
No. Yeah. All right, let's move on. What would Eric do? Title is Girlfriend is Threatening My Job and Career.
Okay.
I have an important project at work that I'm being asked to attend meetings for. As a result, I may be delayed going on a trip to Europe with my long-distance girlfriend. I'd have to change my flights to get there a day or two later, which I'm trying to work out with my manager to minimize the effect on my trip. But I still have a role in these important discussions, and I have to be at these meetings. Well, I told my girlfriend, and she didn't take that well. She's calling me a liar and an unfaithful asshole that wants to ruin her and her vacation. So she's told me that She told me that if I won't ask my manager for the days off, that she's going to do it for me. First off, she's done great in her career. She runs in very impressive circles and has lots of important friends. She has told me...
I'm sorry. I mean, you go ahead and finish it, but I don't even fuck her. I'm serious. What the fuck is she?
I know, but just hear it.
Okay, like it's already a long distance relationship. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. She has told me she's been talking to her lawyer friend about how she can sue me for damages.
Oh, I doubt that.
She's threatened to go to my job's parent corporation and use her connection to the corporate president to tell him that I should be removed from the project because I'm a liar and that I've told her things about my work. That would break NDA. Then she said she would fly to my city, talk to my HR, my legal department, and my manager to file a complaint about an abusive relationship and how I've constantly taken advantage of her and used her for sex because now she feels used because I won't be there for the first 2 days of the trip. I don't know what I should do or need to do in this regard. I told her that I'd have to get legal counsel and that I will decline to answer any further questions. She's telling me that I'm threatening her and that I must be trying to ruin her life by making this a public problem that would destroy her career. She then told me that she's been recording our conversations and told me that she'd make me a deal. If I take back and promise to never get a lawyer against her, she would not bring her lawyer into it. If I didn't, she'd make sure to take me down with her and ruin my career and tell everyone she knows everything I did to exploit her. I told her this is a recording that was against my will and I was not aware of this recording. I declined to make any further comment and I hung up. I'm scared. I don't know what she can do, but I'm sure she can do it if she says so. I don't feel like I can talk to her without having a lawyer advise me what I can say and what I should not say. That's all he said.
Okay, well, I don't know what state he's in.
Doesn't say.
But, so generally speaking, because I don't want this construed as legal advice, but there's a legal term for this kind of situation, okay? It's called psycho bitch.
I was like,
okay?
yeah.
You know what would Eric do? Eric would be like, you know what, go ahead. Please do.
What about the NDA though?
Please do. Okay. Non-disclosure agreements are enforceable. Right. They're valid. Normally they're not provided because an employer is afraid that an employee is going to pillow talk with his significant other's wife. It's usually about competition,
right?
You know, business competitors, trade secrets, stuff like that. But let's pretend for a second that this NDA is so rock solid that even if she says the name of his supervisor, he violated it. Fine. Just go after her then for ruining your job. Right? Fuck her.
She really is a crazy bitch though, because it's
Absolutely.
all because she's going to be like delayed 2 days.
No, it's not even about whatever. This is indicative of a much bigger problem. That's why I'm saying 100%. He needs to cut this off. This is what I would do. I would say, you know what? Do what you got to do. We'll see who wins in the end. No problem. And then block her. Cut her the fuck off, block her, and go about your day. And if something comes up, if you're in California, fucking come see me. Okay? I got you on this one. That's it. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck off. You know what? Good luck. Okay. There's a very simple rule, and I find that it works most of the time. And that is bullies become non-bullies when you clap back. Okay? The whole point, and I don't just mean like a schoolyard bully. I see this in litigation all the time. People that come across or come on super strong and super aggressive, the minute you kind of put them in their place, all of a sudden shit changes.
Literally.
Okay? They try to control you by fear. I'm afraid you're going to go to my boss, you're going to ruin my job, and that's how they get what they want. Fuck you. So you know what? Good luck. If you got balls enough to do it, I got balls enough to fight back.
Exactly.
And that's it. That's what I would do. Seriously. Good luck. Do it.
Exactly.
Right.
I'd let her do
Fucking do it.
Let's see how far she gets.
Right. Please do. You do what you got to do. I'll do what I got to do. And let's see who wins in the end. Best of luck to you. Now.
She probably won't even do it.
No. Now, having said all that, okay, I don't know how far this long distance relationship is. I don't know if this is out of the country, different state. I mean, you know, maybe it's drivable like California, Nevada. I don't know. Okay. But if she's a sunshine, okay, I'm just saying, and it's that good. Right. You just need to ask for 2 days off.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying one. just ask for a couple days extra off. Okay. Get there, lay the pipe. She might be frustrated. I don't know how long she's been, since she's gotten any. Right. Maybe that's all it's going to take.
Maybe she is crazy and he should leave though.
But remember, crazy psycho sex is the best.
Yeah, but she seems really crazy. Like,
Okay.
this seems like...
So you know what Eric would... Well, this is not what Eric would do, but you know what could be done?
Right.
If this were anybody other than me, take the extra 2 days off, get as much fucking psycho sex as you can, and then dump her. As soon as you're done.
That's true.
Like, literally, the minute you toss the condom in the toilet, you'd be like, yo, Lucinda, I gotta go. I gotta bounce. This is not for me. Sorry. It's not for me.
Yeah.
The problem is that she might be such a bright sunshine that he can't.
You really think so?
No, but I'm only saying in the event. Sounds to me that she's a first round crazy, draft pick, and he needs to get the fuck away from her and cut it up, just cut ties. I don't want to say cut it off from here, but cut ties.
Right.
And that's it. Cause cut it off means
that's
something.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
You say cut it off, that means something different than psycho bitches. Like, don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah. Or the other thing to do is show up at her, her state with your new girlfriend.
She's going to be even
Let
crazier.
her, good. Fucking, I would do everything to fucking drive her crazy.
She's great. We don't know how crazy. She already is crazy. How much worse?
Fucking do it. I would tease this to no end. I would make her rue the day that she tried to fuck with me in my career and all that.
I wish you guys could see Eric right now. He made a fist and all.
I hate people like that. You know what?
No, she's insane.
For sure.
Honestly.
I mean, oh my God. Anyway, in all seriousness, this is not something I would be afraid of, but maybe because I know the law and, and also being self-employed, I don't really have to report to anybody, but, well, I mean, the state bar, judges, but
let them hear this.
but in the office, right? It's kind of like, it all falls down, it comes down to me. But yeah, honestly.
Do you think he should warn his job just in
case
he doesn't?
No, I wouldn't even bring it up. I wouldn't even bring it up. Okay. I don't know. And the reason I'm saying that, she alluded that she has some kind of direct connection to the president or a friend. If that's a relative of hers or a cousin or a brother-in-law, just fucking stay away from it. It's nobody's business anyway.
Exactly.
That might be part of the setup, and then she's like, why did you speak to, just fucking literally forget everything about this person.
Exactly. And move. You're not even in the same state as her. Just stop talking.
Right. Today we're recording this on Tuesday, 3:00. You go back to work Wednesday morning at 8, like nothing ever happened.
Exactly.
Just, just go about your day, go about your life. That's the best advice I can give.
Literally. Same. Leave.
Fuck,
run.
Yeah.
Run.
Out the fucking door. Yes.
All right. Next one. Am I the asshole for selling my ex's stuff online after the breakup? But honestly, it wasn't really even revenge, I feel like, at this point. But just hear it out. My ex and I had a messy breakup, and I really didn't want to let go. I never instigated any negative interactions after, as he told me he wanted nothing to do with me. So I respected his wishes and let him be. The problem being, he left some of his things at my house and vice versa, mine at his. I politely asked his friends if they could ask him to gather my things and we could have a mutual share off and then never speak again. I was ignored for months. It's now been almost 6 months of being broken up. I gave up asking for my things after 3 months. So in January of this year, I received a message from my ex asking if we could meet up and finally exchange the items. I agreed. I gave a time and a day and had his promise that he would be there to finalize everything between us. Come that day, I was ghosted. I tried texting, calling, all of that, and even tried his best friend with no response. I waited a few days with still no response. I sent him a message stating I was over this whole thing and that I was going to start getting rid of his stuff. We are now in March, 2 months later, and still nothing. So basically, I gathered all of his stuff, decided what things I could donate, what I could sell, and I just put up my first few listing of the things online. It's not out of revenge, but purely so I can finally get rid of everything, and I would hate to throw away perfectly good clothing / random trinkets when I could either make a few bucks or give it to those less fortunate. So far, a few friends have said that I'm the asshole because I should have just given his stuff back regardless of getting mine, or I could have just dropped it off at his family members. Others think I'm perfectly fine and see no problem. So, do you think I'm the asshole for this?
What's your turn to go first?
No, I would have got rid of that shit the first month. Adios. You didn't want, obviously he didn't need it. I don't, first month, adios. No. That's, no. Do you think I really feel like she had no ill intent here though. Like, hearing her story, she really was trying to give her his shit back.
I don't think she's the asshole. And honestly, the only other thing I would do, is I would send one final thing saying, look, I don't really know what happened this last time. At this point, I don't really care. I'm putting your shit on eBay on June 1st or whatever. Today's May 4th. You got 2 weeks to figure out a time and place. I don't care. Send your friends. I don't give a fuck. That's it. Right? I gave up on my shit. I don't care what you do with it.
That's what she said. I gave up.
That's it.
3 months in.
Yeah, if you want any of your stuff, you make sure somebody not other than you is here to get it, and
otherwise, I don't think he needed it either.
Clearly, this is just one last way of being in control. Or, I hate the fact that some men are like that. But yes, some men are like that. They can't let go easily. They have to get that last little dig.
Right.
So, that's what I would do if I were her. Fuck that.
All right, next one. This is what would Eric do.
Okay.
The title is break up, holding up items. Oh, sorry. Let me see that again. Break up, holding my items hostage and threatening back due rent. A little backstory. My ex-girlfriend and I lived in her parents' house alone for about 19 months. Never had a written or verbal agreement about having to pay rent, and we discussed how we would live financially at the beginning of the relationship. Her and I split our costs by me paying all of the electric, water, cable, phone, and internet bills, and she would pay for the food and her vehicle. Her cat became very ill, and she had written a text agreement with my mom that my mom would pay for her cat's vet bill of $3,500, and she would make monthly payments. Now, after splitting up, their family is giving me a written bill for the 19 months of back due rent, and she's refusing to pay for the cat as compensation. Additionally, she's refusing to give me my bed purchased for $3,700 2 years ago as an additional coverage for her parents' rent. I am unsure what to do in the situation. Does this hold any legal value? Should I actually pay for rent that was never agreed upon when I was told I could live there rent-free? And can she withhold my money from my mother because of our breakup? Any assistance would be tremendously appreciated.
They're probably, I'm just going to do my best to give like a legal analysis.
Right.
Because this is really not about the fucked up breakup. This is about these questions about the aftermath. Right. The aftermath. So generally, if you don't have a written agreement for rent or whatever, then no, they can't enforce that.
Right.
Sorry. Based on what contract? Based on what agreement? It's his word against hers. You let me live rent free. The thing with the cat, I think, could be recoverable if there's written agreement saying, I will do this for you. And you have to pay me every month, but I'll foot this bill or I'll advance it or I'll cover it or whatever. So,
Do you think he can get his bed back?
Probably not. Although if he has a receipt and he paid for it, he can show it. He could try to take her to small claims for the value of the bed. I don't know what a 2-year-old bed is worth. A $3,700 bed's not cheap.
Right.
I'm assuming it's not just a box spring and mattress. It might be like the whole bedroom
thing.
set, which, might make more sense. Like, look, I bought this. Here's my receipt. Here's where I got it.
And if there's text messages of her saying, I'm going to keep this until you pay me.
Yeah, that's evidence that she kind of acknowledges it's his and she's like holding it ransom or trying to use it as what's called an offset, right? Which is kind of bullshit. So I think he can probably, he could probably prevail in small claims court.
She's just bitter.
Yeah, she is. I know. And,
making them a bill after he was paying all the bills in that house for 19 months. And now you want to charge him the rent that supposedly was supposed to be free?
I know. It's that's a very grimy way to be. And I know, look, we've all had ugly breakups. Right. I mean, the audience knows. By the way, how many were at? Like 2,800 almost. 27 change. Right. The audience knows that I was engaged very, very young. I was 19 years old. I got engaged. It didn't last that long and we broke up and she kept the ring. And she was like, no, you gave it to me. It's mine. And like she, and that was like really, again, it's kind of petty, but I, at that point, I just didn't want to get into about giving it back or whatever. It wasn't cheap. My parents bought it, at the time because I was 19. I didn't have any money. But I just, whatever. But I get it. I understand how like pettiness and bitterness kind of, fester, when you're in the midst of an upsetting breakup or you feel like you've been wronged. I think it's especially prevalent. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. If they're cheated on, that's when they get really vengeful, right? So I don't know if that,
or if maybe they feel that blindsided, they claim that, they didn't know the breakup was coming.
Right. Or like all of a sudden, like the guy walks in with like 2 fucking kids, like, yo, I didn't know if I told you, but.
Yeah. Those usually, right. Yeah.
Like stuff like that. But yeah. So, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
There is no claim for the back rent. Okay. I don't think so.
All right. This story I've heard before, and I actually always thought it was funny. This isn't the ending, but this is, all right. So we're getting there.
Okay.
These last 3 are pretty good.
Okay.
The title of this is, Am I the Asshole for Not Telling My Former Fiance I Bought Her Dream House? 10 years ago, my fiance left me, 38 male. a few weeks before our wedding. We grew up in a small town. We were friendly, went to the same school, but we never were in the same clique. She was one of the popular kids and I wasn't. A few years after college, I moved back home when my dad got sick. I found a job in my field about 45 minutes away from home. I would help take my dad to his chemo appointments. And it was during one of those appointments that I ran into her. She was now working at that hospital. One day while I waited, I asked her out. Sorry, he misspelled some words. I'm reading this like directly up there.
Figures.
It turned out we shared a lot of the same interests. It seemed like our relationship was going great. About a year or so into dating, I moved into a rented house with her together. The following year, I proposed. We began looking for a house. Ex always wanted to live in her grandparents' home on the lake near our town. Her family was forced to sell the house when her grandparents died because of an inheritance dispute. 6 months before our wedding, a chance event happened. The couple who bought her grandparents' house had grown tired of the snowy winters. It took some work and nearly all of my savings, but I was able to buy her dream home. It was going to be my surprise wedding present, so I didn't dare tell her or anyone else in her family my plans. A month before our wedding, my ex and her friends went to Miami for her bachelorette party. I'm not sure all of what happened there, and part of me doesn't ever want to know, but I do know that her high school boyfriend was there.
Oh, I know what happened.
When she got back from the trip, she broke down.
You don't even need to ask.
She broke down and confessed that she was afraid to get married and wanted to call it off.
Yeah, that's not why she fucking called it off. She
Exactly.
took one in the ass from Rico in fucking Miami. Okay, bottom line, and now she's right. She's on a whole new plane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Poor small town bastard.
He said it was a mess, and she later moved to Florida and eventually married her high school.
Oh yeah, so she hit a sunshine man.
Mm-hmm.
But okay.
I ended up moving back to the city for an amazing job, and in the meantime, I still had the lake house. With the help of my mom and dad, we started to fix up the house. It took a few years, and my mom and dad would look after the contractors while I was in the city. Having the house was perfect when everything was locked down. I was able to escape the city and work remotely from that lake house. I now live here full time and I work remotely.
Yeah, he doesn't need to justify all this, but go ahead. Right. People, by the way, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Just public service announcement. Mm-hmm. Two quick things. In the practice of law, mm-hmm. attorneys are often asked to submit what are called briefs. Mm-hmm. Legal briefs are okay, right. But the reason they're called briefs.
Because they're supposed to be small?
Right. So for all you fuckers on Reddit, for fuck's sake, if it takes me longer or Karina longer to read your post than it does to respond to it, you might be doing something wrong.
Okay.
All right.
So let me summarize.
So that's just call that my PSA to Reddit.
So for the 4th of July, they celebrated at his lake house with his family. And his sister-in-law used photos from the lake on like the Christmas card. I guess X saw one or something like that. And she was very upset because she saw the house in the background. The Saturday before New Year's, my ex's mother and sister were at my door. After pleasantries and answering their initial questions, they made an offer to buy the house. I refused. They were not happy. A few days later, I got a text from X. This was the first time in about 9 years that she has talked to me. She called me and asked for keeping this from her. Her family is blaming her for losing the house again and then asked me to sell it. I still have no intention to sell, and now her and her family are complaining on social media that this is some sort of revenge. Am I the asshole here?
No.
No.
Fuck no, you're not.
This is great.
That's right.
This is great.
And the only other thing I would do differently is I would respond to the social media post saying, well, maybe if she wasn't out sucking Cuban dick in Miami, right, instead of getting married like she was supposed to, she'd live in her fucking dream lake house. Right?
That's so funny that her family's like, you lost it again?
Right? Like, fucking she deserves that. I'm serious.
Exactly.
Hey, you whorish, unstable bitch. Mm-hmm. That's what you get.
It's like, oh, now you want to contact me. 9 years later, you find out I own your dream house.
Or the other thing, too, yes. And if you're asking, like, what would Eric do? Because Eric is a bit more vindictive than that. I'd be like, oh, yo, you want to buy this back for me? No problem. I'd like $8 million. I would just like price it like so
super high where they can't.
And then when they're like, no, come on, be serious. You're right. 7.9. Mm-hmm. And I would just
99 cents low.
Yeah. Because honestly, I hate to say this, but at the end of the day, money's money.
Money's money.
Business is business.
Business is business.
So,
and that's his home now. Where's he going to live?
Any place else he wants. But the point is, if you really want to get one over,
exactly.
Who gives a shit if you keep this out? Like, mm-hmm. That's what I mean when you're like, oh, but like it's on the lake and I can work from home and it's so serene bullshit. You're justifying your choice. You want to fucking keep it because you know it pisses her off. Mm-hmm. Great. If you want to make a killing on it because you know they're desperate buyers and they want it, treat her like any other buyer that really wants your house.
Put it on the market and see who can give you
let
the best
them bid it up. That's right. Let bid it up. And every time you get an offer, say, no, I want more. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do.
Yep. All right. Next one.
Okay.
This one is what would Eric do? The title is, my ex-boyfriend keeps calling 911 on me.
Because she fucking crazy?
No, he is.
Oh, okay.
My ex-boyfriend and I broke up in December. It was very out of the blue, and I was very, very sad. There was no reason given for the breakup. Our relationship never really had anything remotely abusive, violent, or even threatening on either side. Since then, he has made my life hell. A week after our breakup, he called the police to be present during our exchange of each other's items. The police basically ambushed me and treated me like I was strapped with explosives and followed me home. I got a copy of the call from the city records, and he lied to the police about me owning weapons, being erratic, etc. We were almost no contact the week after we broke up, other than planning to meet to exchange the items. So even if I was off the rails, he wouldn't have known. Really, I was just sad that week, but I did nothing out of the ordinary. I have no idea why he called the police that night. Neither of us have a criminal record. We don't use nor abuse substances. We are just college-educated normal people in our 20s. Since then, we have been no contact. I have not posted anything about him on social media or anything remotely concerning. He has called 911 on me twice to have the paramedics and police show up at my apartment. On those calls, he claimed that I was making suicidal and homicidal threats to him and that I had brought a gun. We are no contact. I am not suicidal or homicidal, and I have never told anyone anything that would make them think that I was. While I grew up around guns and I am more than familiar with them, I do not own one or have any desire to own one at this time. My ex is aware of this. He carries everywhere he goes. The city we live in is not huge, so I know that we would likely run into each other at some point. Last week, he arrived at a restaurant where I was on a date. I was there first. He called the police saying I was stalking him, and they again approached me mid-date and treated me like I was violent and dangerous. It was so humiliating. I have absolutely no idea why he has taken this crazy approach after our breakup. I didn't think that we needed to end on bad terms, and nothing he has said in these calls can be substantial in any way. Yes, these calls have given me anxiety because I never know when the police will show up next, but I am not acting out at all. I had an appropriate level of sadness, and I don't think it caused any of this. I had a great relationship with his parents, so I had a conversation with his mom about this, thinking that she had no idea and would tell him to stop. Unfortunately, he has told her many things about me that are not true, and she supports her son's behavior because he is protecting himself. My ex is over a foot taller than me, and he has at least 100 pounds over me and constantly carries. I'm a small girl, but he claims he needs protection from me. It's insane. I went to the police, but the police didn't believe me. They kind of just gaslit me into saying that maybe he was just worried for me, and that's why he was making these calls. I just don't know what to do after this. What do you do after
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of tough because there's no proof or no evidence.
Right.
He keeps doing it. She could maybe file a complaint, go to the police herself. Like
she did.
I mean, I'm saying,
Yeah, because it's like that's the next step, right? That's Eric would have done went to the police.
What else can you do? Move.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it. Move. You're in a small town. Move to another small town, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I would think.
If you're not tied down by anything major, look, if you have a different kind of career or a job or a new steady boyfriend, it's one thing. But if you're basically like just working at Wendy's, right, and you're just dating randos here and there, fucking move. Get the fuck away from this guy.
Exactly. He's bitter here. So, all right, are you ready for the last one?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Now I'm. Oh boy! All right, now I'm worried. The fucking devilish grin and laugh I'm looking at right now has me so worried about this next question. All right. This is, am I the asshole? Oh, indeed. Okay. All right. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my girlfriend over a prank? Let's hear it. Didn't this just happen? No. Okay. Let's hear this one out. All right. Girlfriend and I have been together for 2 years. We're recently looking to move in together. She was going to spend the rest of the month in her apartment and then move into my place. And she's been spending most days over here anyways, with gradually moving some of her stuff in as well. This is fucking gross, so fair warning. I wish you guys could see Eric's face right now. Okay. For the past 3 days straight, she's been over here, and I've noticed an odd smell every time I would pick up my toothbrush. I wasn't sure what it was, so I rinsed it, and I would keep using it as normal. One morning, she asked me if I had noticed anything different, but refused to elaborate when I asked her for an explanation. So I was on high alert from now on. I left my phone running in the washroom, peeking out of the towel cabinet that faces the sink. And I totally get how invasive that was. And if it turned out I was wrong, I was prepared to admit it and accept the consequences for any assumptions as they came. He says that now, but go ahead. That means he was right. But all right, go ahead. I know I'm the asshole for that, but that's not what I'm asking here. Turns out, are you ready? Yeah. She had been rubbing my toothbrush inside of her pants in the morning as she wakes up before me and would put it back in the container. When I got my phone and seen the video, I was livid and confronted her immediately. She reacted like it was a gigantic joke, laughing, trying to hug me, saying she wanted to see how long it would take me to figure it out. Apparently, she thought this was hilarious.
I felt incredibly disgusted and betrayed. I felt like it's so disrespectful. Go ahead.
He doesn't really mean pants. He means something else.
I'm pretty sure.
It has to be.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God, this is so fucking foul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Let me finish. Yeah.
Oh, you know how I am with stuff like this.
I know. I felt incredibly disgusted and betrayed. I feel like it's disrespectful and not at all a prank, and it's just unhygienic. It's not even like she did it once. She has been doing it for days.
Oh.
I told her to get the stuff that she had brought over in the past days and leave, and I didn't want to be with her anymore. She's absolutely dumbfounded. I could see this as anything other than a harmless prank. That's what she thinks of it. In her opinion, it's her opinion that it shouldn't matter because I washed it before I used it anyways. On one hand, she's been so inconsolable and has been begging me to reconsider so much that I'm second-guessing my decision to end it, and I'm wondering whether I'm being too harsh on her. On the other hand, if this is her idea of a prank and that sort of thing she can do, not only do I not trust her in my house and my stuff, I don't trust her in general. Am I the asshole if I wanted to end things here? Go ahead.
You really want me to?
Yeah, I want your real answer on this. What would you do if you found out your girlfriend was doing that to your toothbrush?
Okay, so I'm assuming this toothbrush is being either rubbed across, the vajayjay or the back door.
Or both.
Right. Well, although that can cause all sorts of other problems. But
I don't think she cared.
No, clearly. Now, look, would I break up with her? I don't know. It depends how good she is otherwise.
The worst part is he said his toothbrush smelled weird.
I know, but you'd think you'd fucking figure that out, that it's not your own morning breath causing your toothbrush to stink. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, and bear with me, this is a crude question, okay? But doesn't he eat ass anyway? Doesn't everybody do that now? Because if you already do, what's the fucking difference, pal? Except it's morning ass and not freshly showered ass. But otherwise, you're still eating ass, right? And you're putting toothpaste on the ass and scrubbing it, so it's, honestly, I don't know how else to react to this. Are they deeply in love? Had they talked about marriage? Clearly, they're cohabitating and they're moving in together.
They're about to move in.
So obviously, it's not just like a fling, right? This is not like a Tinder hookup. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how I would react.
You're so disturbed by this stuff.
Because I would assume, honestly, that if I were at a point where I'm ready to move in with my significant other and cohabitate, they would know a little bit about me and certain things that I find difficult. Right? Now, this is not like, oh, my boyfriend, like me. Okay, anybody that knows me, really knows me, all knows that I hate ranch. Everything ranch, except like Cool Ranch Doritos or whatever, but like actual ranch dressing, white, liquidy, creamy ranch fucking disgusts me.
He also hates mayo.
And mayonnaise. Fucking disgusts me to the point where if I even see it near me, I start to like dry heave. I can't stand it. Okay? Now.
You guys know who loves ranch? Yeah. Karina does.
And Jay Lowenstein and her kids. They all fucking like ranch. But the point is, Jay Lowenstein got to know me before we moved in together and knows that she's not going to break out the fucking Hidden Valley bottle in front of me and spread ranch all over whatever fucking disgusting thing that you want to put it on. That to me is like this. You would think she knew that he would probably react, but let's pretend she just thought this was the funniest fucking thing in the world. Okay. So, and this is where it gets a little fucked up. All right. What would Eric do or whatever? She the asshole. See, the thing of it is, if you were just telling me this story and this happened to you, right? Or you were doing this to your boyfriend, I wouldn't stop laughing.
Right.
It's so fucking funny. Right. But if I'm the fucking recipient,
I know.
I just can't. How the fuck? What kind of medieval bullshit? This is like
where did she even pull this joke out of? Where did she see this?
This is like Game of Thrones punishment. This is not like, good sir, I'm going to rub my bum with your fucking toothbrush and force you to like swirl it in your mouth. Like, oh my fucking God, who does this? I know.
At first, when he first said, I thought she was going to like rub the toothbrush in the toilet. Like, that's where I thought it was going.
What if she's got like the little dingleberry left? Oh my God. And that little tiny nugget of poop is on the toothbrush.
No.
I don't care. And by the way, sister, whoever fucking wrote this, most people, I mean, I've been brushing my teeth for, 50 some years.
Right.
Most fucking people, they don't wash their toothbrush before they use it. They rinse it under the water a little bit.
That's what he was doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Just rinsing
but that's not cleaning
it's
it.
Not washing.
You dumb fucking bitch. That's not getting your fucking dingleberries off the brush.
And that's why people say you should, even you using it, they say your toothbrush should be replaced every 3 months because it gets bacteria.
Fine.
It's like, imagine if he doesn't even do that. So it's like there's already bacteria and whatever's up her ass in this toothbrush now. Oh, I would lose my mind. I think if this happened to me and I am like fully watching it on video, seeing her do this, I would not stop throwing up.
That's so terrible.
Was it a good ender?
I mean, that's savage.
Well, that's all we have for this episode. If you don't have anything else to add to it.
I don't, honestly, I possibly don't know what I could add to this other than, look.
Okay, so let's say it wasn't a girlfriend. What if it was one of your like guy friends?
No, that's worse. That's a man's ass now. That's even worse. Okay. I don't know. I might find a way to forgive truly, because I don't believe it was meant to be cruel. Right. This wasn't meant to be like that kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I guess
like,
it wasn't intentional.
But all of that. Right. But having said all that, that's really fucking deplorable. Mm-hmm. So that's rough. I would have a very hard time forgiving this.
I know. That's why I added it last. I was like,
yeah, that's a tough one. Well, all right. Well, what can I tell you? Appreciate everybody again. Every week we're growing in our numbers. It's really, really amazing and awesome. Super, really, we really appreciate it. We're going to keep doing our best to come up with different creative content where it's not, you can't hit a home run every time we get to the plate, but we're trying to keep everybody engaged and we appreciate it. So Hurricane, tell them where they can find us.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate all the support. Remember, you can find us on Instagram at the Bensama Confirm and at the Light Podcast, on Twitter and TikTok at Bensama Confirm. You can visit our website at eblawfirm.us and you can email us at info@eblawfirm.us. Bye, guys.
Bye.